Hey everyone, it's Ryan at GPI with another installment of our product information and review series. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the LT4 high pressure fuel pump. The LT4 pump over the years has become a common upgrade for everything Gen 5 LT related that wasn't obviously an LT4 to start with. You know, so like your LT1 cars that maybe they're going power adder and need more fuel system supply. The big NA stuff that needs more fuel volume for that E85 fuel, etc., etc. The pump, for the most part, is a drop-in replacement, bolts right in. There are some installation tips I want to give you. Always, obviously, when you're doing a cam on a Gen 5 LT, you need to check your preload with the follower that's on the camshaft. You may or may not need a lash cap. Generally speaking, most of the time, not all of the time, depending on the fuel pump lobe that's being used. Like our camshafts typically are the 32% fuel lobes. The LT1 pumps need a lash cap. The LT4 pumps do not need a lash cap. If you put a lash cap on when you don't need it and you run too much preload, it can actually bottom this pump out and cause the pump to be inoperable, and you will have to replace the pump, unfortunately. But let's talk about the pump a little bit in comparison to the LT1 pump. It is approximately 20-something% more flow, and that's hard to get an exact value on that because the pumps are actually operate from the factory at different pressures. An LT1 pump is 2175 psi, and these are about 3000 psi, 2900 something psi, whatever it is. So the LT4 pumps will operate at a higher pressure. The only other option in the aftermarket for increased volume would be the LPE big bore pump. But the con about that pump, aside from it's very expensive, the price obviously, but the other con is you can't operate it at as high of a pressure. We can run this pump up to like 3600, 3800 psi, and that will help our injectors go that much further if the injectors will open at that pressure. The big 30 over and 65% over injectors will not open at 3000 plus PSI usually. You have to watch what you're doing there tuning wise, but typically LT4 injectors will open there. So sometimes what happens, LT4 pumps with LT4 injectors at a high pressure can get really close or match the flow of a big bore pump combo that has 30 over injectors. They're moving the same volume, but it takes a little bit more pressure to do it with the LT4 system, but it can save you a lot of money in the long run. Anyways, guys, it's a very common pump that we use on most of our cam setups that are running E85 when you need more fuel system supply over that 600 wheel range. Typically we go to LT4 pump and injectors, and obviously you need to look at your low side, whether you do an aux pump or LT4 in-tank pump for that stuff. It's a solid pump. It's been the go-to for several years for us. Some of the year models, the newer year models, will need an adapter for the connector to plug into the harness on your car, and some blower applications may need clearancing. I think the Whipples may need clearancing on the bottom of the blower for a LT4 pump. Typically we run a lot of 2650 stuff. We don't have any issues with 2650s, so always check clearance, check everything, guys. It's a direct bolt up, lines are in the same place, all that is a direct fall in. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you found the information useful. As always, if you have any questions, hit us up, email, hit us up on support live chat. We're happy to help. Thanks, guys.